Tonight, we travel deep into the forgotten backwoods of Tennessee, where old fences mark more than just property lines, and ancient rules are all that keep the shadows at bay. Not everything that watches from the darkness wants to stay there. I remember it like it was yesterday. I had just turned 20. My parents decided it was time for me to visit some family, so we headed down south to Tennessee. A family get-together means we have to hang out with family. Somehow, a group of 3 of my cousins and a friend from out of town managed to show up. We can call them Eddie, Garrett, Austin, and Trent. The 5 of us decide to grab a 6-pack that my grandfather left out on the table. He was a good man, but he's terribly unobservant. We sneak out the house and head into the woods. About 30 minutes out. Hard to say exactly. Adrenaline kills my sense of time. Garrett, the local cousin in these parts, seems really nervous. He's older than me, but keeps whimpering every time we push forward. Garrett carries an old rifle, just like from the old days when they hunted for a living. Eddie and Austin are keeping him cool, telling him we'll only be out here for a bit. We light up the small lamp. We're all getting a little tipsy, but not drunk. I have about half a can and call it quits. I still don't have a taste for alcohol. Garrett, who's about 6 beers in, suddenly snaps up, perfectly sober, and says, "We shouldn't be here." Well, no shit. We stole beer from our grandpa. No, man, we really shouldn't be here. We should leave. We debate arguing around, but suddenly, it gets really fucking cold. We put on jackets that we dragged along, but it's getting colder. We really shouldn't be here, guys. We have to leave. Austin laughs, Trent just grunts, and the lamp flickers as a large insect bumps it. Giant bugs and cold wind. Fuck this place. Garrett, now super pissed, picks up Austin, stands him up like a good little soldier. We are leaving. Except, he's not telling us. He's not even looking at us. He's yelling behind Trent. Trent and I are trying to figure out what the fuck we're doing here. Suddenly, Garrett picks up his gun and aims it at Trent. Austin drops like a rock. Trent is scared shitless. I'm wondering what the fuck I'm gonna say to the cops about all this. Triple homicide in the woods, couple of cans of beer, doesn't look good. We're leaving, ain't we, fellas? Trent slowly turns around, out of curiosity. I swear, I have never seen a look as terrified as the one on Trent's face. Austin sees Trent, looks to me. I stare back, too chicken shit to see what's going on behind Trent, when suddenly Trent sprints past Garrett, who keeps aiming his gun at whatever is back there. John, Austin, don't move until I tell you, but when I say it, run like a fox in a henhouse. At this point, too scared to call out, I just dumbly nodded my head. I try to sneak a peek. John, don't move. Garrett quietly moves, picks up a lantern by hooking it with the muzzle. We're leaving now. We don't want any trouble. We didn't mean anything by it. Something fucking moves in the bushes. The cold air gets colder. I'm literally a second from pissing myself. Garrett stops breathing for a moment. The lantern swings gently. Run. Keep in mind, I am not a fast man. I am a fat man. But tonight, I was Usain Bolt. Austin is about 5 feet from me. I can hear him crying. I'm crying too. I hear 3 gunshots. And then the scream. Have you ever heard a coyote yelp? They sound like a combination between a child crying and yelling. I grew up with coyotes in the backyard. This did not sound like a coyote. It was high-pitched, higher than a coyote. And it was right fucking behind us. Austin and I don't even look to each other. We just keep running, finally clearing the trees and entering the meadow near a creek. Garrett appears behind us, rifle slung over his shoulder, and he's shouting to keep running. The scream gets louder. It's getting closer. Garrett tells us to keep moving. We're almost across the property line. He full stops, spinning around and taking another shot before moving again. Suddenly, there were more screams all around us. They are everywhere. We see the old fence not more than 30 yards away. Austin leaps over that shit like a gymnast. I am a few seconds behind him. I land on my back and see stars. Garrett leaps over and takes aim, completely out of breath. He screams, "We're on our side! Fuck off!" The screaming abruptly stops. There's no crickets, no ambient noise to fill the void. Just 3 adult men crying like babies. Austin on his knees, fairly certain he vomited. "Where's the fucking lantern?" Garrett whispers back. "In the trees." We all look up and see the tree line. Sure enough, the lantern is sitting in the trees at the edge of the meadows. There's also something standing near the trees. Unnaturally tall. It doesn't really move. It just jitters back and forth, like someone cut out some frames of an animation. It moves back and forth across the trees, the light blocking out the details. It turns and hovers across the ground. Its knees are twisted backwards. Garrett is heaving. His breath is ragged, but he seems to be physically okay. I'll admit it. I am full on sobbing, but now I am so cried out, I can't actually make any tears. I just wail in the corner. "We're on our side, you fuckers. You know the rules." Another one appears from the woods and starts to flitter. Garrett aims up into the sky and takes a shot. I can feel my ears ringing. The figures freak out, rushing back and forth across the tree line, falling in and out of the light. For a second, I think I see 3 shapes moving around, but I don't care. I just want this shit to stop. The light in the trees flickers. Garrett curses out. When the light goes out, run as fast as you can, screaming and hollering for Grandpa. Don't stop, even if you hear me telling you to. The light flickers again. The shapes stop moving. They got bigger. No, they're closer. The light flickers again. They're getting closer and turns off. We book it. Austin takes the lead, rushes into the forest behind us, screaming for Grandpa. Garrett, while running, drops his rifle. We hear the screams again, and they're getting closer. Suddenly, lights. Lights everywhere, and the screams stop. Grandpa is about 50 yards away with my dad, and 3 distant uncles, as well as one of our neighbors, Terrence. They all have guns. Garrett and Austin slide to the ground in front of Grandpa. I keep running and crash into my dad, who just stands there and hugs me for a second. Garrett is saying a bunch of things, but he's saying it so fast I can't understand him with his accent anymore. Grandpa and one of my uncles just nod. Where's your friend? Trent ran past us. Didn't he reach you? Grandpa grabs me and Garrett. Austin is curled up weeping on the ground. My grandfather calls out to one of the uncles. Take Austin to the house. Hide him in the guest room with no windows. They've seen what he looks like. I fucking want to go home. Grandpa says I need to go with them. Says Garrett has a special gun they need to get back. We walk through the woods again. I have to admit, it feels a lot safer with all the guns. Terrence whispers something to Grandpa. My dad keeps marching, hand firmly on my shoulder. Garrett starts calling out for Trent. He tells me to start calling out as well. All of us calling out. Eventually, we reach the fence. We know it's the right spot because we can still see the vomit on the ground where Austin threw up. Grandpa waves his flashlight around, illuminating the meadows. Suddenly, a shape darts out of the tree line, crying and huffing. It's Trent. He stops a few feet from the fence and falls on his knees. He's crying like me. Grandpa and the uncles, totally quiet. Garrett and I don't move. I thought I lost you guys back there at the campsite. I'm scared because nobody responds. The tense silence is finally broken by Garrett. Where did you go, Trent? I got lost ahead of you. I just got turned around, I guess. My grandfather leans in and whispers something into Terrence's ear. He nods. My dad tightens his grip on my shoulder. Trent looks confused. Aren't you guys gonna help? My grandfather gently moves his gun upwards. Help with what? Help me get over there. The fence is tall, and I'm tired. My grandfather, as well as all the other uncles, slowly lift up their guns, pointing at Trent. What do you mean? You look fine to me. Haha, funny guys. No, but seriously, come on, let me in. Grandpa is completely serious now. I have never felt so scared of a man before. Trent looks nervous, almost antsy. He keeps looking back to the tree line. I felt like something was off, but obviously, I'm too fucking scared or stupid to figure out exactly what it is. Help me over the fence, Terrence calls out. Come over here, kid. Trent stops and stares daggers at Terrence. Not you. You can't invite me. It's not your property. Grandpa raises his gun and prepares to squeeze the trigger. He's a friend of the family. Trent hisses. He's not the owner. It's rude. Trent was invited to the reunion. Trent, still on his knees, just staring. It was at that moment I realized what seemed so off about this situation. Trent wasn't breathing. He's now staring daggers at Grandpa. My uncles are training their guns. Terrence is just holding the flashlight on Trent's face. My dad whispers into my ear, Trent will be fine. Grandpa shoots the gun into the air and waits for the shot to stop ringing. You aren't invited. This is our side. You know the rules. Grandpa and my uncle slowly start to back away. Garrett and my dad are guiding me back. Terrence slowly moves the flashlight at the tree line. I shouldn't look. I'm not gonna look. I shouldn't fucking look. I turn and I look. The light is trained on Trent, but Trent is moving to the tree line. He's not walking though. He's moving like a puppet being dragged back. I wanted to scream. It's caught in my throat, but my father grabs my head and turns it forward. Trent will be fine, John. The screams start back up, but they're distant. Garrett looks over his shoulder, but Grandpa keeps marching. We make it to the house. Party inside is dying down. I hear Austin crying from one of the rooms. Dad takes me inside, lays me down, and tucks me in for the first time since I was 12. I spend the rest of the night staring at the ceiling before falling asleep to the sounds of gunshots and distant screaming. Grandpa is sitting at the table with most of the extended family, smoking, reading, and playing cards. Garrett is playing with some of my younger cousins. Austin is watching television. My dad hands me some eggs and a piece of toast. He smiles at me like nothing fucking happened. Garrett sees me, smiles and waves me over. Trent went home this morning. He's fine. Nobody is fucking fine. Who the fuck said we were fine? What the fuck happened? Garrett gives me a look and whispers, "Last night didn't happen. Trent is fine. Drop it." I later find out that Trent had been recovered by some neighbors down the road. He woke up in the brush and ran home. He was convinced he was hungover, and that explained all the bruises he found on his back and neck. I only asked my grandpa what happened once. He just said he had some trouble with people on the nearby land. They kept trying to get onto his property. I asked them why they hadn't just jumped the fence. He looked me dead in the eyes and just said, "I hadn't invited them in, John, that's why." It's been 3 years since then. I've had various visits to that family that ended with similar results. Bright lights, shadows, gunshots. But nothing has ever come close to the fear I felt that night. I would say this was the closest I ever got to a skinwalker incident, so I've never found out what those things were on the other side of the fence. What do you think was out there in the trees that night? Drop your thoughts down below.